You had mentioned Chris Jericho a couple moments ago. You guys want to share some good Chris Jericho stories?
He is the worst cab partner ever.
Yeah.
Did you read his new book? He had been in a cab fight before me. That motherfucker. I thought we had something.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I mean, the first thing when you talk about Chris Jericho, especially with these two people here, is that night in Cincinnati / Kentucky, wherever it was. And
Cincinnati, Kentucky?
yeah, it's funny
Kentucky.
because whenever you work the city of Cincinnati with WWE, you have to cross back into the border, and the airport's in Kentucky, but they're not far apart from each other.
But it's still the Cincinnati airport.
Yeah,
but
it
it's
is.
in Kentucky.
Exactly.
Who fucking knows?
And that was just a crazy night. We were there with Braden Walker, actually. He'd had it set up.
Braden, knock.
Who's there?
Braden Walker.
And Braden Walker had to set up some local bar he hung out at, and we were there. And I remember like Shane and Chris were going pretty hard, and me, I was actually just saying, okay, well, I'm going to chill and kind of make sure everybody's good tonight.
And when Matt's the voice of reason.
Yeah, something's
Shit's
wrong for sure. And I just remember there was it was just like guys having fun that night, and even the incident was still when Shane and Chris got into it in the back of the cab. It wasn't like anything hateful or anything malicious towards one another, and it's just one of those things. I got out and there were two friends who had been drinking and they fought, and Shane took off running down the woods and was falling on his face, and Chris was going this way, and all kinds of stuff was going on, and the way TMZ made the story sound like was like the cops came and I was running and dodging bullets and stuff. It was all crazy. It was a really wild
The whole
story.
thing was I was just going to walk back to the hotel, and then I got around the corner and realized I didn't know where the fuck I was at. Wait a minute. So I started walking back.
Yeah, a funny thing is too, like Chris went in the convenience store apparently. Like I was gonna go after Shane, and he just lost in the woods, and I don't know where. It was totally dark outside. I mean, there wasn't anything around. This was like a rural area.
I don't even remember woods.
Yeah, you ran down into the woods, and Chris went to the store, and I guess the cops came up there, and after the cops came, I just I'd stayed away. I didn't want to go back there then because I knew there was like that cab driver said, "Look, if you two guys, because you've been arguing already, I'm gonna call the cops and they're gonna arrest you." And I just didn't want anybody to get in trouble. And Chris went in there, and he was actually looking through a wrestling magazine with him in the magazine and drunk in the convenience store. And the cop said, "Excuse me, Mr. Irvine." He said, "Were you actually hit by one of the males in the car?" He said, "Yes, but it's okay." He said, "Do you want to press charges?" "No, I'm not going to." He says, "Was the man Gregory Helms that did?" He said, "No, it wasn't him." He said, "Was the man Matthew Hardy?" He said, "No, it wasn't him at all." And they said, "Well, who hit you exactly?" He said, "It was," and he was like looking at the wrestling magazine, and he said, "It was Mark Laurinaitis. He hit me." And they said, "Sorry, sir, you're lying. We were outside the club when you left there. We know there were only 3 individuals in the car. We're going to have to put the cuffs on you." And I guess what happened is whenever they put the cuffs on Chris and walked back to the car, then Shane was coming back up out of the woods because he realized he was nowhere near the hotel. And he's like, "No."
I don't remember woods. I remember being on the sidewalk. Was there a sidewalk in the woods?
No, there were woods too you went down to.
And this convenience store was in the middle of the woods.
And no, there was a convenience store and there were woods behind it. You ran behind the convenience store.
I think you were a little bit more drunk than you were letting.
Anyway, I was just gonna say they said too that Shane, whenever he came back, he held up his hand and said, "I surrender." Did you say that?
No, motherfuckers put out their guns, and I said, "Ooh."
That's when he held up his hands. He said, "Let him go." It was me, and they like, "No, he's already live, and we're both taking you down." And it's something a lot of people don't know is I went back to the hotel. I caught a cab and went back to the hotel, and I was gonna go bail him out. And you guys are called Christian, right?
I don't know who the fuck called Christian.
Somebody called Christian, I think, or
we didn't even know we were arrested.
But
we were like, we're signing autographs and taking pictures with his car. The whole thing was the cab driver got scared.
Right.
That's the whole thing, was that we frightened the cab driver. That's the only real thing, bad thing that happened.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing terrible, nothing illegal. I mean, there was nothing malicious about any of it. And the funny thing was, when I got back to our hotel room, remember we put all our bags in Mike Knox's room?
Sure.
Well, our bags, because we were going to the restaurant, we hadn't had time to check in or whatever. They were in their car, and it was like Mike Knox and Luke Gallows, I think, and it was in their rooms. And I went out and knocked on the door, and Mike was there, and Mike was obliterated. There was just like beer bottles and liquor all over the room. And I remember, like, Mike, I said, we got to go down to the. I said, I don't think you could drive, but we got to go down to the police station. I said, they arrested Shane and Jericho, and Mike's like, they did. And I said, yeah, man. I said, we gotta go. He said, we gotta go break them son of a bitches out. He said, I can fucking do it. And I was like, nah, man, we just need to go belt him. I said, nah, man. He said, you want to go get a chain at the store? He said, we'll pull the door off or the window. You think we can get in? I was like, all right, man, you being serious? He said, I mean, if we need to, I can call this lawyer I got in Florida. He's good. He's expensive, but he's good. He can get them out. And I was like, no, we got to go get like a couple bucks and belt them out. That is it. He's like, you sure we don't need to break them out? No. I was like, we need to go quick because everybody's got flights coming up this morning. And I'm pretty sure Christian went down and got him. So
Yeah, Christian and Punk.
Christian and Punk, yeah, there you go.
Against the King guys. But that's the thing we didn't even know. It's like most of the cops were cool. There was one grumpy old ass cop, and he's the one that was, because public intoxication is one of the dumbest fucking laws ever. Because a cop, and I know several cops. I'm like, no, we don't have to do that. That's a choice. We can either get you or we can't. Because anytime you go to a bar anywhere and you have a drink, once you leave, you're public intoxication. You can't. I mean, even if you walk home, they can get you if they want to. So it was just one grumpy old ass cop. Maybe he didn't get laid the night before and he was mad about something. But like I said, we didn't even know. We were in the damn police station, and we were going. I remember asking Chris, I'm like, "Are we arrested?" He goes, "I don't know." And we're sitting there going, and we've been sitting there taking pictures, signing autographs for these motherfuckers, and then they make it. Then they want us to take that TMZ picture, and they're like, "Okay," and then we're like, "This is fucking stupid." Wasn't even a good fight. We're back. I tell you another thing about Chris. I rode with Chris a lot, man. We actually always had a lot of fun. Every time we would hit the town, he's always a great guy to go out with. Don't really have nothing bad to say about. Even the cab thing was something we just joke about it all the time. Nothing. It was like regretful for a little while, but then it just became so funny that I was like, fuck it, who cares?